Hello students, in today's lecture we are going to learn about thermal properties of matter, NCERT section 10.8 to 10.8.1 and example 10.4. This is disclaimer. Learning objective. By the end of this lecture you will able to understand the concepts of change of state, triple point and latent heat. In today's lecture we will cover first 10.8 change of state, then 10.8.1 latent heat, then example 10.4. All right. So let's start. 10.8 change of state. All right. So we know matter exists in three states: solid state, liquid state, and gaseous state. Now, uh, here question arises: how matter uh, changes from one state to another state. So we can say transition from one state to another state is a is called change of state. And the common changes of state include solid turning into liquid and liquid turning into gas, and the reverse process, or we can say vice versa, can happen. So the process is when solid convert into gases, known as sublimation. Similarly, gas convert into liquid, known as condensation, and solid convert into liquid, melting. Similarly, liquid melts, liquid converted into solid, known as freezing. All right. So these are the processes of a change of state. Now, transition of states occurs through the exchange of heat with its surroundings, and this is the main reason of transition of states. Understanding the concept of phase transition processes. So, first process, melting or fusion. If we talk about the melting, or we can say also known as fusion. So, we here melting is a physical process where a substance, solid substance, undergoes a phase transition and convert to liquid. Example, ice. Ice is a solid substance and melting into water, or water is a liquid. So, solid to liquid conversion, known as melting. For example, butter melting on a hot plate. Yes or no? Candle wax melting when lit. So, this is the process of melting or fusion. Now, the second melting point. So, if we talk about the melting point, so we can say melting point of a substance is the specific temperature at which thermal equilibrium exists between its solid and liquid states. During the melting processes, the temperature remains constant until the entire solid transforms into a liquid. And during this phase, both solid and liquid states of a substance exist simultaneously in thermal equilibrium. All right. Every substance has its own unique melting point. Example, solid melts at a temperature of 97.8 degrees Celsius. Oxygen melts at a temperature of minus 218.79 degrees Celsius. Alright. Melting point of a substance changes with pressure. It means pressure affects the melting point. So melting point of a substance at standard atmospheric pressure is called normal melting point. Alright. So let's talk about one more example. So imagine you take an ice cube, alright, and out of freezer and place it in a bowl. After few minutes, it starts turning into water. Yes or no? The temperature at which this happens, is called the melting point. Alright. Now, freezing. If we talk about the freezing, so it is a phase transition when a substance changes from liquid state to solid state. Liquid state to solid state, typically due to a decrease in temperature. So suppose we have a liquid, and when we decreasing the temperature, so it will be freeze and become solid substance. Example, water turning into ice at 0 degrees Celsius. Frozen lakes. So this is an also example of freezing. Lava solidifying into rocks. Alright. So this is a phenomena known as freezing. Now, regulation, a special case of melting and freezing. So resolution is a process where ice melts under pressure and freezes when the pressure is released. It means we can say here, suppose we have a solid substance like ice, and this melts under pressure in the process of resolution. But how it will be freezes? So it will refreeze when the pressure is released. This phenomena occurs because increasing pressure lowers the melting point of ice, allowing it to melt under pressure even when the temperature is below 0 degrees Celsius. Illustrated in figure 10.10, a block of ice is positioned on two stands. So a wire with weights attached to both ends is placed over block of ice. Alright, block of ice. When the wire gradually moves through the ice, it exerted pressure and causes the ice to melt. So here the ice melts due to the exerted pressure. Then water refreezes above the wire, maintaining the integrity of the ice block. Alright. Now, here question arises, what's really happens? Or we can say what really happening in this process. So we can say ice melts when pressure increases here. When you apply pressure on ice, its melting point decreases. Alright. So even if temperature is 0 degrees Celsius, even if the temperature is 0 degrees Celsius. Ice will melt because the pressure has lowered the melting point below 0 degrees Celsius. And after that, ice refreezes when pressure is removed. So, as soon as you removed the pressure, in that case, the melting point rise again. Now, the water formed due to melting is below the new melting point. So, it is freezes again. Alright. Now, example of resolution. Ice skating. This is very good example. Alright. Pressure exerted by the skate blade on the ice inducing melting. So, when the pressure exerted on the ice, so the ice will melt and forming a thin layer of water. Now, this water layer functions as a lubricant, and this lubricant enables the skater to glide smoothly. Alright. Now, here question arises. Then, how the water refreeze again? So, as scatter blade moves away, scatter blades move away, there is no more pressure on that spot. So, without pressure, water quickly turns back into ice, or we can say water refreezes. This happens because the temperature is cold and that is enough for water to naturally return to its solid state, or we can say to becomes ice. Third process is vaporization or boiling. So, vaporization is the process in which a substance changes its state from liquid state to vapor state, or we can say gaseous state. Example, water turning into steam when boiled. Yes or no? Processes of making salt by evaporating seawater. Gradual disappearance of liquid from an open container. So, these are the examples of vaporization. Liquid state to solid vapor state, or we can say gaseous state. Alright. Now, boiling point. So, boiling point is the specific temperature at which a liquid turns into a gas, with both states existing together in thermal balance during the boiling process. Example, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius at sea level. So, here the specific temperature is 100 degrees Celsius at which liquid, or we can say at which water turns into gas. Ethanol, the specific temperature is 78 degrees Celsius at which ethanol turns into gas. Metals like copper, which boils at 257 degrees Celsius, or we can, another example, tungstens, which boils at 555 degrees Celsius, have a very high boiling points, or we can say these are the specific temperature at which the liquid turns into gaseous state. Now, how pressure affects boiling point? If we increase the pressure or decrease the pressure, what will be the effects? In a pressure cooker, the increased pressure raises the boiling point, allowing food to cook faster. It means in a pressure cooker, when we increase the pressure or when we increase the temperature and closed container, so there will be increase in pressure. Yes or no? So that raises the boiling point. At high altitudes, decreased pressure causes the boiling point to decrease, making cooking more challenging. Boiling point of a substance at standard atmospheric pressure is called its normal boiling. All right. Now, fourth process is condensation. So, condensation is the process where a substance changes from a gaseous state into a liquid state. All right. Example, in the morning, water droplets appear on the grass are because of condensation. You know, in condensation, gas becomes liquid. Condensation causes the water droplets to form on the outside of a cold glass. So, these are the examples of condensation. Now, fifth is sublimation, and this is very important process. If we talk about sublimation, so basically sublimation is the process where a substance changes directly from a solid to a gas without becoming a liquid first. During sublimation, both solid and vapor states of the substance coexist in the thermal equilibrium. Substances which undergo sublimation are called sublime substances. All right. Sublime substances means that undergoes sublimation and convert directly solid to gases. If we talk about an example, so dry ice, solid CO2 and camphor. So these are the examples which convert solid to gas. Now, sixth process is deposition. Deposition is a process in which a substance transitions directly from a gas to a solid without becoming a liquid first. All right. It's the reverse of the sublimation. Reverse process of sublimation. Example, frost formation. When the temperature of a surface drops below the freezing point of water, water vapor in the air can deposit directly onto the surface. This deposition of water vapor onto the surface forms ice crystals, resulting in the formation of frost. All right. Triple point. If we talk about triple point, so we can say it is a specific temperature and pressure at which all three phases, solid phase, liquid phase, and vapor phase of a substance coexist in equilibrium. Temperature of a substance remains constant during its change of state, or we can say during its phase change. Example, triple point for water occurs at temperature 273.16 Kelvin and pressure 6.11 into 10 raised to the power minus 3 Pascal. A graph between the temperature T and the pressure P of the substance is called a phase diagram. So this is the phase diagram, pressure, temperature, phase diagram for H2O and for carbon dioxide. All right. So it has three main regions. Look at here. First region is solid region, then liquid region, and then vapor region. Similarly, in figure B, solid region, liquid region, and vapor region. So these are the main regions. These regions are separated by three curves. First, sublimation curve. So BO is the sublimation curve. Second is fusion curve. AO. AO is the AO is the fusion curve. All right. And third curve is vaporization curve. CO. CO is the vaporization curve. All right. These regions are very important. Sublimation curve, fusion curve, and vaporization curve. All right. First, sublimation curve, BO. This curve separates the solid region from vapor region. Look at here. BO is the sublimation. So, the separation between solid region and vapor region. We know sublimation is the process in which solid directly convert into vapor state. So, BO is the sublimation curve. Any point on this curve indicates a temperature and pressure at which solid phase and vapor phase of substance can exist together. So, any point on this phase on BO curve. All right. Similarly, here on BO, the substance can exist together. This is where sublimation, solid directly to gas, and deposition, gas directly to solid, occur. All right. So, second curve is fusion curve. So, AO curve is the fusion curve. This curve for water A and for CO2 B separates solid region from liquid region. All right. So, at any point on this curve indicates a temperature and pressure at which the solid phase and liquid phase of the substance can coexist. On the curve AO. All right. This is where melting solid to liquid, melting solid to liquid and freezing liquid to solid occur. For most substances, the solid slopes slightly to the right, indicating that higher pressure results in a slightly higher melting. However, for water, figure A, this is for water, the curve slopes slightly to the left because of water's unique property of expanding upon freezing. This one, AO. All right. See. Third is vaporization curve, CO. CO is the vaporization curve. This curve separates the liquid region from the vapor region. Look at here. This one is the liquid region and this one is the vapor region. Similarly here. And the curve that separating known as vaporization curve. Any point on this curve indicates a temperature and pressure at which the liquid phase and the vapor gas phase of substance can coexist. This is where boiling or vaporization, the process of changing from liquid to gas, occurs. Condensation, the process of changing from gas to liquid, also take place here. Boiling point of substance increases as pressure increases along this curve. So, in this curve, and that simplifies only about the regions. Vaporization curve, fusion curve. All right. Latent heat. Latent heat is the amount of heat energy absorbed or released by a substance without any change in its temperature during a change of state, like solid to liquid, liquid to gas. All right. If we talk about the definition, so we can say latent heat is the amount of heat supplied to per unit mass when there is a change of state in a substance. Alright. During change of state, the temperature of the substance remains constant, even though heat is being supplied. Suppose if mass m of a substance undergoes from one state to other, then quantity of heat required is given by Q is equal to ml, or we can say L equal to Q by m. Alright. If we talk about an example, so we can say when ice melts at 0 degree Celsius, it becomes water. Yes or no? But water, but the temperature does not increases until all the ice melts. Yes or no? So the heat you are giving is used only to break bonds between the solid molecule. Alright, and this is not visible as a temperature rise, it's a hidden. And that's why we called latent heat. So L equal to Q by m, where L is the latent heat and its characteristics of the substance. SI unit, joule per kg. Alright. Three types, there are two types of latent heat. First, latent heat of fusion, denoted by LF. So latent heat for a solid liquid state change is called latent heat of fusion. So the Kraft temperature versus heat for water at 1 atm. Alright. Solid phase, liquid phase and gas phase. So this constant temperature, this shows phase change. Similarly here, this shows phase change. Second is latent heat of vaporization, LV. Latent heat for a liquid gas state change is called latent heat of vaporization. So here, look at here. Solid phase to liquid phase. There is a phase change and latent heat is 3.3 into 10 raised to the power 5 joule per kg. In calorie, it will be 80 kilocalorie per joule. Alright. So this is the latent heat of fusion, solid to liquid. Listen carefully, solid to liquid. If we talk about the latent heat of vaporization, it means liquid to gas. So it will be 540 kilocalorie per joule. Alright. This is the hidden heat. Latent heats of a certain substances along with the freezing and boiling points. Listen, this one. So ethanol, gold, lead, mercury, nitrogen, oxygen and water. So melting point, this one, ethanol for minus 144 degrees Celsius, for gold 1063, for lead 328, mercury minus 39, nitrogen minus 210, oxygen minus 219 and water 0. And this is LF, latent heat of fusion. For ethanol 1.0, for gold 0.645, for lead 0.25, for mercury 0.12 and for nitrogen 0.26, for oxygen 0.14 and for water 3.33. Boiling point is similarly for ethanol 78 and 2660, for gold, for lead 1744, for mercury 357, for nitrogen minus 196 degrees Celsius, for oxygen minus 183 and for water 100. Similarly, LV. In order 10 raised to the 5 joule per kg, ethanol 1.5, gold 15.8, lead 8.67, mercury 2.7, nitrogen 2.0, oxygen 2.1 and water 22.6. Alright, so these are the latent heats of some substances. Example 10.4. 0.15 kg of ice at 0 degrees Celsius is mixed with 0.30 kg of water at 50 degrees Celsius in a container. The resulting temperature is 6.7 degrees Celsius. Calculate the heat of fusion of ice, and S water is equal to 4186 joule per kg per Kelvin. Let's see the solution. So given mass of ice is 0.15 kg, mass of water 0.30 kg. Initial temperature of ice 0 degree Celsius and initial temperature of water 50 degrees Celsius. Final temperature 6.7 degrees Celsius. Specific heat of water 4186 joule per kg per Kelvin. Alright, so these are the given terms. Using the principle of calorimetry, that is heat lost is equal to heat gained. So heat lost by hot water is equal to heat used to melt ice plus heat gained by melted ice. So just put the formulas. So MW SW into TW minus TF is equal to MI LF plus MI SW S water into TF minus TI. So this is the heat lost by the water. This one is the heat used to melt ice, and this one heat gained by melted ice. Alright. So substitute the values. This one 0.30 into 4186 into 50 minus 6.7 is equal to 0.15 into LF plus 0.15 into 4186 into 6.7 minus 0. So it will be 0.30 into 4186 into 43.3 is equal to 0.15 LF plus 0.15 into 4186 into 6.7. So solving this equation, you will be get 54376.14 is equal to 0.15 LF plus 4206.93. So it will be become 0.15 LF is equal to 50169.21. Alright. Now we will solving for LF. So solving for LF. So it will be LF is equal to 50169.21 divided by 0.15. So solving this, you will be get 334461.4 joule per kg. So LF is equal to 3.34 into 10 raised to 5 joule per kg. Alright. So therefore the latent heat of fusion of ice is approximately 3.34 into 10 raised to 5 joule per kg. Summary. Change of state. Melting, it is the process when solid convert into liquid. Freezing, when liquid convert into solid. Resolution, solid convert into liquid under pressure, and liquid convert into ice when pressure is released. Vaporization, liquid to gas. Condensation, gas to liquid. Alright. Sublimation, solid to gas. A deposition, gas to solid. Triple point is where all three phases coexist at a specific temperature and pressure. For water, T is equal to 273.16 Kelvin and pressure is equal to 6.11 into 10 raised to minus 3 Pascal. Latent heat is given by Q is equal to ml, where LF is the fusion and LV for vaporization, measured in joule per kg. Temperature remains constant during phase changes, deposit heat being supplied removed. For calorimetry problems involving phase changes, Q lost is equal to Q gain, and the formula is this one: M1C1 delta T1 is equal to M2L plus M2C2 delta T2. Now we have some practice questions. What is the physical significance of the triple point in a PT diagram? Why does the temperature remain constant during a change of state even though heat is being supplied? Define latent heat. Why is it called latent? In the process of resolution, why does ice melts under pressure and refreeze when pressure is released? Why is the latent heat of vaporization generally higher than latent heat of fusion for most substances? Alright, so these are the practice questions and this is all our homework for you. Clear? Thank you for your attention.